Today we meet a Swiss restaurateur in Taipei. Damien Kaeser comes from a family of master cheesemakers. His heritage inspired him to establish his own restaurant, selling a wide range of Swiss cheese, fondue, and homemade meats and burgers. Our very own Stephany Yang got some tips from the master himself on how to make the perfect fondue.
Haven't started yet, just put the ingredient.
To prepare a cheese fondue, first grate the cheese. The chef uses 3 types of cheese for this fondue.
Basically, now the trick for fondue is not to cook it too fast. Have the right consistency and make it stable.
He adds cornstarch, water, and garlic to the grated cheese. Then he gives it all a mix and heats it for a few minutes. More cheese is added to the pot while he continues to stir the contents. We're currently at a Swiss restaurant in Taipei, and we're going to learn how to make Swiss fondue with Damien.
All right. So basically, what you need to make a good fondue is the proper cheese, and you need to know your cheese. Then you need to add love to it, proper amount of liquid and binding element. Heat it gently until you get a smooth and creamy texture without overheating. And here we go.
Slowly dip the bread into the fondue and slowly stir it a few times until heated. Then it's ready to be enjoyed.
In the days, you didn't have access to other ingredients.
Other than bread, you can also opt for potatoes, mushrooms, or Swiss sausage to dip into the fondue. These are all made in-house at the restaurant. Patrons can try out 12 types of artisanal cheese at this restaurant in Taipei, all imported straight from cheesemakers in Switzerland.
We want to share this with Taiwanese, really show them what the artisan cheese that's been aged and properly taken care of can taste, so that they can really discover those tastes, because I believe it's not something too common in the diet. And all those cheese that we have here, they're all sourced from cheesemaker that I know. So it's really important for me to know who is making the cheese. But all those cheese, when we import, is always by air, and then when you arrive in Taiwan, we also take special care of those cheese, meaning we have a special storage area where we can control humidity, temperature, air circulation, as to recreate the climate from an aging cave. Basically, this cheese is called tête de moine, which basically translates to monk head.
One cheese that Kaeser has in the restaurant is a tête de moine, also known as monk's head in English. It was invented more than 8 centuries ago by monks in Switzerland.
Tête de moine basically translated to monk head. Yeah. And it's basically because this cheese was made in a monastery by monks quite a few centuries ago. And actually, back in the days, a wheel of that cheese like that was used as a currency or mean of payment. Yeah. Until today, where it's just a delicacy.
Aside from cheese fondue, there are also Swiss delicacies like raclette, corned beef sandwiches, croque monsieur, and signature burgers. The components of these dishes are all handmade in-house in Taiwan, except for the cheese, which is imported from Switzerland.
So here are 3 of our main course. The first one, that's our signature burger. So when I say signature burger, is first the bread is one of our homemade bread, and it's called Silserli. It's kind of like a German pretzel, but it's the Swiss version, so it's softer, like a brioche. And then under it you have our homemade bacon, so it's a 4 weeks maturation bacon, crispy bacon. Then our Gruyere cheese, and the meat inside is also one of our sausage. So most of the thing is everything that we make ourselves, or ingredient that you would not find somewhere else.
Kaeser is the founder of this restaurant. He met his Taiwanese wife in Scotland during university, and the two moved back to Taiwan a few years ago. Before opening up the restaurant, Kaeser worked in finance for several years in Taiwan. But due to his love for cheese and being from a family of master cheesemakers, he decided to open up a restaurant in Taiwan serving Swiss delicacies and cheeses. His grandfather had been the head of a training center for dairy technology.
The reason why we have this cheese and why we do this is first because I'm Swiss, and the connection that I have with cheese is kind of grew up with cheese, because my grandfather, that you can see in the middle picture here, he was a master cheesemaker, but he was also the head of the training center from the cantonal training center in my hometown for milk technology. He trained generation and generation of cheesemaker. So this cow is a breed called Holstein, and these are the cows that we use to make the Gruyere cheese back in Switzerland.
The store has a huge mural painted by Taiwanese artists depicting the scenery, cheese history, and cheesemakers in Switzerland. There are also pots and machines shipped to Taiwan from Kaeser's home country. He hopes to give people a taste of Switzerland in Taiwan and let more people learn more about its history and beauty. FTV reporter Stephany Yang and Li Yihan in Taipei.